people, it is good to see you again. Me and Mike, we've been busy, guys. I don't know what else to say. Life hits you sometimes. You got to prioritize. And this week we are bringing you a very interesting episode of Out of Bounds. So welcome to season 6, episode 5 of Out of Bounds. In this episode, we're going to concentrate. The last couple episodes, we've been concentrating a lot on the statistics. And we constantly preach that statistics isn't the main part of basketball. There's a lot of other things that take place that contribute to your team winning. So today we're going to kind of, talk about those things. We're going to talk about standings. We're going to talk about playoffs. We're going to talk about awards. And we're going to talk about what each team brings to the table. What makes them super. So, without further ado, we're going to go into our first little talk. We're going to talk about the last 3 games. Mike, most recent game. The only sweep to happen in this series so far. Moon versus Peelers. What did you think? Give it to me.
Moon versus Peelers. I just hate that it had to be this way, that they had to be the only team to get, swept so far. The only, most likely will be the only sweep of the season. Let's keep it a buck. Just from the bit I was able to analyze from the game, I can 100% say, just from the Peelers' perspective, that I'm very impressed with how Drippy stepped up to the plate. As far as his performance in this series and also his performance against the Splash, because these were the heavy hitter bigs we expected him to go against. And of course, Gian was going to get his off. Miles had a 35 ball in one of these games. Unorthodox buckets of Miles on the lawn.
Fake
That's
buckets.
But it was never really enough. And also, Sam wasn't necessarily even Sam in this series. And you just got to chalk it up because we'd never want anyone to get swept. Yeah. I would like for all these games to be competitive. Listen, when we get to, talking about our favorite series of the season, this won't be one of them. This won't be in the top 5 of them. But hey, we appreciate the Peelers for coming and showing up and getting that ass whooped. But shout out to the Moon for taking care of business, doing what they said, or not what they said, but what they expect themselves to do. And that's to handle business this entire series. TK putting up monster numbers each game, proving why he'll ultimately be an MVP candidate at the end of the season. DeLon leading the troops, as he always done, breaking down the Peelers. This is the definition of constant preparation from the guys over there, Scuba, Temp, Brandon, all them boys, against a team that just could never click. And just always seems like they're not as prepared as the team they're going against somehow. It just blows my mind.
For sure. It never seems that, more than one Peeler can go off at the same time. I want to give credit, to Drippy. It's hard at a big, unless there's just a mismatch somewhere, to score on offense because most of the time you're up against defensive builds. And he did a pretty good job of it for most of the game. They never could, like you said, they never could put it together at the same time. Miles and Drippy would have went off. Maybe this would have been a 4-1. But timing is everything.
Timing is everything. But before we move around, we just talked and touched on the most recent series. Like we said, congratulations to the Moon, handling and taking care of business.
Hey, clinching playoffs.
Clinching playoffs. Let's go to the series we missed in the very beginning. Splash versus Peelers, still on the Peelers. Now this
totally different game.
This is different. Those games were close, and that's really where like I said, the Drippy turned around because the big play is that's really the big distinction with the league. Regardless of whoever says this is a guards league and blah blah blah, if you don't have a center that can hang and bang, you're gonna have a tough time. And Drippy proved, at least to me as a center, that he can hang and bang with the reigning MVP. And like even Gian, it ultimately, this was still 4-1, but them Splash boys, all that talking about, I think I made a deal with Clay, a bet, talking about they wouldn't lose more than 2 games the rest of the season. I don't know. I might win that bet. I might win that bet because, you didn't look unstoppable against the Peelers. There were games. I wish I had the stat log. I have random notes everywhere. Bragg had a 32-20 game. I know what I'm gonna get from Jay Bragg, young Simba, Bronny James. You ask him to take him off and sign it. That's Bronny James. But as far as everybody else, the talkers, Jacob, TB, 2 for 7, not gonna cut it. Like it's not 2 for 7. Letting Jesse go 7 for 7 on you. I think he had 17 and 8 in the closeout game, which cost you the game from someone who was my co-defensive player of the year.
Big Peeler.
Unacceptable, especially when you talk as much as you do. Fellas with the mouth, you got to be able to back it up. And so that definitely should have been the first sweep of the season, at least from the way they were talking, but they fell short. And as much as we, I don't like moral victories, but the Peelers looked good in this series. They were in damn near every game besides game 3. Because Gian would have his moments where he came in, would get his buckets. I believe he had 18, and then he had like 14 another game. It's yeah, they were going band for band. It just unfortunately towards the end of the games would end up in the Splash's favor. I don't know if you had anything else on this series.
All of them were really, really close games. It actually surprised me how close most of them were. And then, you can take that into the second series of the game, talk about close games. Minnesota Moon and the Delta Dogs, probably one of the best series that we've seen so far. That series, every single game was, almost. The one game that the Dogs walked away with, that series ended 1-4 Moon. That was a game where it kind of pulled away. But every other game, it was right there till the finish line.
And for Moon Dogs, for those of you who don't know, the theme of this episode is superpowers. Some of these teams have superpowers. Some of you don't. Some of you don't. In the Minnesota Moon, their superpower is in, I don't even know if you would count it as a superpower in this case, is their preparation. They're in at times over preparation because Batman, he's a hero, he's a superhero, whatever. I don't give a fuck. The contingency plans that they have are far beyond what a team like the Dungeon Family or the Splash would have for any given situation. A problem that I had with the Dogs, what game was it? Hold on. I got my random notes. It's not pulling up as it needs to. Give me 1 second. There was an end of game situation. I believe there was, I want to say 10 seconds left on the clock. Tied game, 52-52. Dogs they're down 2. They need a bucket. And you can tell the Dogs just didn't know who to go to or what they needed to do. And towards the last 2 games, a guy who I've been vouching for as MVP, LaRon, wasn't present in those last 2 games, underperformed. And so, especially when you have a guy in K-Rich also underperformed. I believe K-Rich it was 3 of 14 in that close game where they lost by 2 or 3. And LaRon was like 2 for 7. So if you're going to have games like that, you can't afford to have that against the Moon. And the Moon aren't a great shooting team. They're not a great shooting team, but they make up for it in the little things with the preparation.
Agreed. And their defensive game plan going in was super solid.
Exactly. And if the Dogs are supposed to be one of the best shooting teams in the league, if them shots aren't falling, I don't know what they're going to do. Because they're still in these games, but if the shots aren't falling, if they decide not to be aggressive, they won't make it to the finals. So I feel like there's a lot they learned in that series. K-Rich needs to be more aggressive. That if you're running the pick and roll, K-Rich, you got to take that off the move shot, baby. You're the best shooter, one of the best shooters on that team.
There's a lot that there's a lot that LaRon and K-Rich could do with each other right now, as far as coming up with plays or scenarios to get each other open, because those are the hot hands on the team. They don't really miss from the perimeter. There's everybody on that team can make a bucket, but K-Rich and then Dewey's there too. There's a lot of different options that they could come up with. I think a little bit of organization is, just what the Dogs need for them to get on that page and on the same level of preparedness that the other teams have brought to the table so far.
But it's also not all bad because, like I said, these games were close. They were in these games. Like they lost game 1. I mean, in the fourth quarter, DeLon took over in the fourth.
Yeah.
But it ultimately came down to the real name Brandon. That's why he got drafted. Game-winning shot. That's why you get drafted, Brandon, for the moment, baby. I'm watching you. It's not going to notice, baby. I'm watching you. And so that ended up winning them game 1. Cuz didn't have a great series this series. Game 1, he was like 2 for 6. Game 2, 0 for 4. Game 3 wasn't great. I believe 1 for 5. If we were in attendance, he probably would have got ass nigga of the week, and his team won. But listen, it's also in the little things you do. It goes back to what we were talking about, accountability.
Yeah,
gotta keep it real with these guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like, to go back to just the main point of Dogs versus Moon, the Dogs have to stop the paralysis from analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Just go, just play. Don't overthink it. Have some natural motions and concepts you need to go to. Get the job done. Play your game.
Yeah.
In the Moon, I mean, I don't really have much left to criticize from Moon outside from their shot selection. There are times where their shot selection can be frustrating because they're a team that can't afford to give up possessions, especially because they're not the best shooting team. They're not the second best shooting team in the league. They might not be the third. I mean, that's just me talking.
Yeah.
So they need to value every possession, and they do a good job of that. That's why they're one of the best teams in the league right now. But that's the only thing I ask of them, is to value their possessions more and value their shot selection more. But that's my thoughts on Dogs versus Moon. Very good series. I don't know if it's the best series, because we did, in my opinion, the most exciting series for me. Is it Dogs versus Dungeon? That was an exciting series.
It was all right. I mean, it would have been better, I think, if Reggie was there. But definitely a good series. Good series.
That's still great series, Dogs and Moon, though. We needed to see that.
Very good series. It was a really solid series. You know, Minnesota Moon sold out for everything. Kind of hurt them on offense a little bit, like you were saying. But at the end of the night, you know, if you're pulling ahead 4-1 and your game plan was to stop them on defense, they did exactly what, you know, they planned to do. So good job, Moon. Good job, Moon. Delta Dogs, I think just a little bit of game planning on y'all's part could go a super, super long way, especially as we near the playoffs.
Most definitely.
Before we move on,
we got Dungeon Peelers.
Yes.
Still. Man.
And then we got a game tonight as well, Mike. We got Splash versus Dogs. Now we're not sure. There's been some whispers that there may be an absentee on the team that ends up costing a couple games. We'll see. Hopefully not. So far, everything's clear. You know, game's still on the schedule, as far as I know.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Well, right now, the two teams that are fighting for the number 1 seed are the Minnesota Moon and the Splash. So while the Splash is pretty much guaranteed their spot in the playoff, pretty much guaranteed their spot in the playoff, they're not guaranteed that number 1 spot yet. They can still get it, but this game tonight will matter.
Yeah, it's gonna matter. Like the dogs are in the hunt. In the Splash, they have a lot to prove, and it'd be different if they were playing a Peelers, you know. But because y'all were struggling with the Peelers, I don't know what the Dogs about to do to y'all. The Dogs, especially if you're down, whoever is missing tonight, the Dogs could pop y'all in the mouth. You can only ask Bragg to do so much, because Bragg had 32 and 20. Them niggas only won by like 5 or something.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting the Splash to take care of business, but the Dogs are some dogs, and I think they're going to bounce back from the performance they had against the Moon. I think they have a lot to prove.
Yeah, I think they definitely do. I think they took a lot away. They honestly, you know, I got the inside perspective. The Dogs took the loss like a champ. They took it for what it was. They took it for a wake-up call. They've been getting runs ever since. You I think if anything, this was good for the Dogs coming in. They got a real taste of competition for the first time so far as well. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this series tonight. I really hope that it all comes to fruition and we get to play it out. So I'm gonna go down the list, courtesy. What you got, Mike?
Well, before we move on, I want us to review Dungeon vs. Peelers. This is probably the series I took the most notes on somehow.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Niggas was calling this the shitty bowl. They was calling this the shit bowl.
No.
And so I'm watching game one, Byron. I'm locked in. I got my little soft drink, ginger ale.
Yeah. I gotta keep the tummy calm.
Off rip. The Peelers zone made my eyes bleed. Like just the inability to rotate, the lack of communication. Well, not like healthy communication.
Mm-hmm.
Gian was running. He was running every chance he got, but that was to keep his team in the game. So salute to him. He ended up with like 18 the first game. But the Dungeon family were overhelping. It allowed the Peelers to get into the game. And I'm asking everyone, when you get the chance, Dungeon family versus Peelers, game one, go to 24 minutes. MJ says that shot's above his temperature. That's I'm just going to say, go back and watch that. Go back and watch that sequence. Go back and watch that sequence, because right after he says, "Oh, that's above his temperature," we're getting back on defense. We got people lying about screens getting set on them. I'm watching the game.
I may be able to pull that up.
Screens getting set on you. They've been setting screens on me. No, brother, I'm watching the tape. They ain't setting no screen. You ain't move your feet, brother. Anyways, yeah, a lot of this series just came down to Sam getting clamped. Like Sam, they did a good job of taking Sam away from the Peelers. But also these games were also pretty close. A couple of them. I think game 3 was a blowout. Like I don't know. It's like the Peelers, in contrast, we keep going back to the moon, but we're talking preparation, we're talking practice, we're talking comfortability. We can tell that you're not really communicating the basketball concepts on offense and defense, like when you need someone to cut, or even in game, if you're talking like, hey, I'm gonna be like, hey, Temp, cut, nigga. Pass it to him. He dunks. Or telling somebody to rotate or where they need to be. Jesse's not the most basketball guy. And so the guys who are over there, which I don't know who are the basketball guys over there, no offense, you got to communicate that. You can't just expect, oh, this is 2K, everybody should know. No, it's not the case. And that's why y'all losing a lot of these games. But again, shout out to Gian and Drippy for being consistent in attempting to turn their seasons around. It is not going unnoticed. Especially if people on your team are being taken away, someone has to step up. So shout out to them boys. Also, game 2, 50 minutes and 58 seconds to 51 minutes and 17 seconds. Go watch that. That sums up the Peelers' entire season.
I can pull that up if you want, Mike. What was it?
Oh, can we? Oh, yes.
What was it at?
50 minutes and 58 seconds. Dungeon family versus Peelers.
58.
It's just like a solid 20 seconds. This sums up their entire season. I thought it was poetic.
Stretch it out.
Let me see.
Hey.
Reggie, there's no way you're serious.
We gotta start.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
We talk after the game, but no, I'm not letting you get away with that.
Come on.
Spread the floor out.
Oh, that was.
Oh, wow.
Pick up that bell. Let's go.
Hey,
I like
look.
the turnover.
All
the way.
I did not even die for that. Bro.
Come on, Jay.
Why didn't we just take the mid range?
Mike J.
Pick up your man.
Still hit that dunk.
I'm here.
Good one.
That's it, Byron. That's it.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that was it.
That is the most Peelers thing I've
That was
seen all
it.
season. I hope that was worth it. Getting through the rest of the series, just wrapping it up.
Oh my
Shout out
God.
to Jay Trent for mentioning me. I blushed. He heard the talks about us talking about them needing to get a board. He said, well, I heard the talks and I went and got a board. I've ordered a went and got a board t-shirts. So anyone who would like one, shout out to Jay Trent, man. Made me blush a little bit. I didn't know he knew my name.
Oh, that guy Jay Trent, man, greatest.
But
ever.
yeah, so those are my thoughts on that series. Congratulations to the Dungeon family on taking care of business because that was 4-1, right? 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people didn't expect it to be that, but hey, a lot of people thought the Pillars had a chance, but the Dungeon family took care of business as they should. And so, are the Peelers out of play-in? They have to be within 3 games, right?
So let's talk about it. We got a long list of do's and don'ts and his instructions, courtesy of DeLon Terrell. DeLon, thank you very much. The math would have broke my brain to try to figure this out. So here it is. The Dungeon family can avoid the play-in by winning 1 game against the Splash. All right, when they do their series.
Okay.
So as long as we don't see another sweep, the Dungeon family can avoid their play-in, which is big for Grant. The Splash needs to go at least 8-2 in their next 2 series for the 1 seed. Okay, so if they lose more than 2 games tonight, that 1 seed, bye bye.
What does it take for the Peelers to get the 1 seed?
That ain't on the list. I don't think that's possible. The only 2 teams that can get the 1 seed
man.
right now are the Moon and yeah, we ain't got enough games in the lock for that. The Dogs are locked into 2, 3, and 4 seeds. The Dogs are into the playoffs. How they perform will determine, where they land. The Moon have clinched playoffs, but they're also in the same boat where, their seeding will be determined on how these next couple games go. And the only 2 teams that can't be 1 seed or that can be 1 seed are the Moon and Splash. I already said that. And the Dogs have to win at least 2 games to clinch 3rd seed.
A world of possibilities. A world of possibilities. This is why we play the games, Byron. This is why we play the games. But did you have anything else to recap from these games? Anything else?
You see that record?
Steelers are 3-17. Yeah, that's crazy as fuck. That's crazy.
Sheesh. All right. We're going to move on.
It's crazy. Crazy.
After playoffs, we're going to be doing something a little new. So we'll already have an award show, but after the award show, we want to incorporate a little bit of playoff opportunity into this. We will be dropping the media's award list. This will
The
be
out of bounds awards, damn it. The
Out of
PBA
bounds.
ones are cool. Y'all can have that shit. We got the out of bounds awards. We got stuff like Let Him Shoot award. One of you is going to earn that. Byron will be able to announce the ass nigga of the season, the J Trent of the year, series of the season, which is going to be a good one. We're going to all get together and talk about that one. And there's going to be a couple more, but look out for the out of bounds awards. It'll be probably sometime during the playoffs when we feel like it or if we can. It may not happen. It may not happen. But if anything, we'll send something in the mail.
Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know who gets the award. Little participation trophy. So we're going to move on to the strawberry letter. Jay Cuz, I'm about to send you some text for the polls. I'm going to read it. The second one is pretty long. So the second one, just start like a 2-minute timer or something instead of just
that one's got to be a little longer.
Let me see. I gotta find my cheat sheet. We had some good strawberry letters this week.
We had a lot of denials. Like we would ask folks, y'all don't really know this. This is a little behind the scenes. we asked a couple of you, for some entries, and some of y'all got denied once you submitted. And I'm all for chaos. But y'all are mean. Y'all are really mean. Like that, like just demonstrative. But we have some really good ones. I don't know if y'all are gonna break the streak. We're on strawberry letter number 5. Y'all ain't guessed it correctly yet. So y'all better work as a team. We're gonna find out. You send it to.
I'm sending it to Cuz now.
Did you want to read it, or did you want me to read it?
You can go ahead and read the first one. Go ahead.
Okay. Strawberry letter number 5. Typo off rip is crazy. Niggas. Okay. The isn't directed at anyone in particular, just a general statement. But general managers make PBA hard to play. Some have huge egos, and play don't match up to it. PBA will be better when they learn to take criticism and work together with everyone. Now, Byron, that's some strong shit right there. That is some strong, potent shit. What names have you provided for the people to guess?
So the names that I came up with were Cortez, Reggie, Brad. Oh, wait, nope, this is last week's. I'm reading the wrong one. Ignore that. Was Quez, Tay, TB, Scotty, and Gian.
Interesting.
That was the names. So
okay. We'll see what the people think. But Byron, what do you think of this? What do you think of this statement right here?
I mean, it's definitely an opinion, you know. As a person that's not in the PBA and a GM, I don't think my ego is too big. I knew I was ass some of the time, so I was willing to own that. You know, but it is important. You know, there are some GMs in this league that make it harder on their team because they want to play a certain position, or, you know, just how they go about talking to people. There's a lot of different things that go into play, you know, about this statement. So there's been a lot of chaos lately in the league, and this could there's a lot of different things that this could be referring to. I don't actually know, and I don't know. I'm excited to see the outcome of this.
Someone who clearly doesn't like the way things have been going.
Some of these complaints.
Obvious.
Has the poll ended yet? I never can see it.
I haven't even
because you got to tell me the outcome of the poll.
Let's see. I mean, shit, we can go ahead and close votes now because I don't know if he's already done it.
Talon said, "Oh yeah. Go ahead and shut them things down."
Why is he acting like it's just me that reaches out to people? It's not just me, Delon. Byron reaches out to people too. Like, it's not just me. I think Byron reached out to more people than me today. He reached out to like 4 people.
All right. So Scotty led the votes in this department, and that would have been my guess too.
It's a good. That was a good pick. That's a good
correct.
Pick.
But
it's not correct.
Like, oh man,
our streak
killing
is
it.
alive, Byron. Our streak is alive.
Let's go.
Our streak is alive. It was very. This one, I ain't gonna lie. This was very Scotty coded though. This was very Scotty coded.
Scotty coded.
He's someone who's been around, someone who left the league and came back. So I get why they would pick Scotty.
For sure. I feel like Scotty has said this to somebody before.
He probably, I think he has, but
galvanize the offense.
I didn't share my thoughts on the statement. My thoughts on the statement. Well, my sentiments have always been the same. Niggas is ass, and niggas bitch and moan about everything.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just a GM problem. I think it's a all niggas and non-niggas problem. And I think it's also a mix of fellas getting tired of each other. I feel like it's a little bit of that. We may be spending too much time together. But that's just what comes with it, with people being competitive. So there's gonna be some egos. There's gonna be play that doesn't match up because niggas just be drafting to draft sometimes. So I mean, in my opinion, I don't think much of it. I mean, this is like saying the grass is green or my fish has gills. But it's something we all kind of already know. So
for sure.
Nothing too crazy. Now the next one I think is better.
The next one, all right, Jay, because you can go up and set a longer poll for this, or just leave it up. Like
it's gonna be a long one.
So, can I read this one? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to read it,
I can. So the top players in the
you have
league,
to check if the N-word was.
I did. That's exactly what I was doing.
Just replace that with neighbor or fella.
The top players in the league will always be the top players. After 6 seasons, everyone has a role now. Those roles are keeping people on the same team they have always been on. Very few teams are taking risks in terms of personnel. The league needs something new to shake things up. I would rather see a team go 0-20 with fun and entertaining lineups than eating the same old Alfredo.
Mm.
I said, what do you feel could be done to shake things up in the league? The suggestion was the GMs get a vote to block a player from being drafted to the other team. For example, DeLon is blocked from picking TK. However, the championship team can bypass the block if they choose to protect a player. So there's a suggestion on how we could, possibly shake things up a little bit.
Don't we already kind of do that now with the either first pick or protect? Don't we kind of do that?
Kind of with the protected pick. So, I mean, a way to block it, it wouldn't be a GM voting, but like somebody besides DeLon would have to win the championship and just pick TK.
Who are the names for this? Who are the names?
So the names for this one were Scuba, Jesse, Jay Trent, Noah, and Drippy.
Oh. Okay.
So
Okay.
the real question is, who's going to say eating the same old Alfredo?
That's a very particular phrasing that I have heard from.
To me, it screams Jesse. It's just me.
This is the thing about this one is this is someone who's clearly fed up and tired with how things have been going.
Yeah.
Someone who
They've been here a while.
wants to mention DeLon. DeLon is a reoccurring character in these.
Hey man,
Don't you find that funny? I find that so funny.
Already in the league.
He's very popular. He's very popular.
Mhm.
This is a good one though. Someone saying they'd rather go 0-20. That's very Jesse code.
0-20. That's
damn near the best.
that's the Peelers, exactly. Yeah, Jesse is Jesse.
They saying Jesse not giving a quote like this. What y'all trying to say about my nigga Jesse? What y'all trying to say?
All right, well, let's go ahead and close the votes. Coos, give me the results, man.
Yeah, who are
took
they
that one
voting
away?
for? I'm curious. I think a sleeper pick here is Jay Trent.
Jay Trent.
Because I feel like Alfredo is something Jay Trent would definitely say, and also because he's been on very similar teams throughout his tenure in the PBA. He's also someone in power.
He is.
Jay, Big Daddy Trent.
Yeah. Easy.
What Offset say? Wait, never mind.
All right. So, hey, we got our results in.
Okay, what we got?
Well, for the very first time, congratulations, people. You did it. It was Noah.
Damn it.
Guys.
Man,
Noah did it. I wonder if it was the Alfredo that got him in the end.
I think it's because it was so wordy.
Yeah.
It was so wordy. It was very Noah coded. Now, damn, I want to see. Can I see how close it was? I can't.
Somebody said they
I
put
hate that.
50K on Noah. 67,000 was the Noah had. So
Damn.
yeah.
God damn, Noah.
Somebody went all in. I wonder if they get that back. I don't know how these polls work.
He said, I knew when y'all said it was a long message. Come on. Well, Noah, we've been had, brother. Our streak is over, Byron.
It is.
We had a good run with 5 strawberry letters.
We did. We
Had
did.
a good
Well,
run.
we still gonna bring it back. We gonna get a couple more before the season's over. I have no doubt. Look out, could be seeing some crazy characters, maybe some retired strawberry letters. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Possibly.
we're gonna go into the next one.
Okay. We've
were
been going for a
on
minute.
12, 13, 14, 2 week approximately hiatus. So we've come up with multiple Jay Trents.
Got to reward the guys who've been playing their butt off especially while we've been busy. There is listen, y'all, you motherfuckers are lucky. There's no ass nigga of the week. There's no ass niggas of the hiatus.
No A&W of the
But,
hiatus.
hey, listen, some of y'all on the hair of y'all chinny chin chin, the hair of y'all balls, y'all, it would have been y'all. I'm looking at you. I'm looking right at you. You know who you are. Trash that nigga. But yeah, man, let's celebrate greatness. One of the most prestigious awards you can get. Let's go through them, Byron. Go through our guys.
RJ Trent's of the hiatus are Jesse for going 7 for 7 against TB
And leading his team to that victory.
That
Leading his team to that victory.
That one W. Hey, they only had 2 of them. Now they got 3 of them. That's huge.
And showing us a team that previously said they probably only lose 2 games, they can be had no matter who they're going against. They're very human, and we have Jesse to thank for that. All you Peeler haters and all that, Jesse showed his butt. He showed his ass and his balls in that series.
He did.
In the last game, but still showed him. Congratulations, Jesse.
Congratulations, Jesse. My guy.
This
Another
next
Jake
guy.
Trent
This
of the
next guy.
hiatus. Man.
Follow this guy on TikTok. He posts y'all shit on TikTok, cooking y'all ass. Y'all ain't seen it. MJ be cooking the fuck out of y'all on TikTok. Hey.
Oh, gotta let him know. Put it on the highlight film.
MJ putting y'all on highlights, man. Shout out to MJ, someone who's been balling since the start of the season. MVP candidate MJ. That boy is a steel connoisseur, hands in that lane. Then he gonna give your ass a bucket. He gonna do the boogie on you. And so we were deciding between him and LaRon for one of the other ones. I think he finally earned it during the hiatus. Shout out MJ.
Shout out MJ. Congratulations, MJ. On
Y'all gonna make him rich on TikTok. Y'all gonna make him
highest
rich.
praise you can get. It's better than MVP. And then our last guy, Brandon.
Real name Brandon. At this
TB's
point,
best friend.
Rookie
Best
of the
one.
year is gonna be close.
Mm.
Rookie of the year will be the closest award this season because of performances like Brandon is having this season. He doesn't always necessarily have to be the guy, but he's doing exactly what he was drafted for, to hit big shots when needed, to be a mismatch, to play great, solid defense, and to be disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like DeLon and TK, they never have to worry about Brandon. And I feel like that's something that's very underrated in the PBA. Listen, me and you, we've played on some teams. I was worried about some niggas. Listen, I see Byron on my right. I'm like, okay, I got Byron here. Turn to my left. This nigga shaking. Shit. You can hear the nigga control. You can hear his controller shake. He not even at the free throw line. But a guy like Brandon, just ice cold, cool, calm, collected. One of the best white guys after Byron that I know. Sorry, Noah, you got some competition.
Hey,
real
good
name
dad.
Brandon.
Temp was telling me earlier in a Temp interview. He told me Brandon, great guy, good with his kids, man.
Family guy. You always hear his family. You love that. You love to know niggas is human. To know that. Shout out to Brandon. Well deserved.
Shout out to Brandon. Brandon and Noah, fun fact, sound just alike. Got him confused like twice today on 2 separate occasions. Sound just alike. I thought Brandon was imitating Noah because Noah was in the party.
You thought it was a scuba imitation? You thought it was one of those?
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's really good. They're like, no, that's just all right. Man. So this next segment, this took a little time.
Oh, but this is fun. This is fun.
Tears, huh?
This is fun. This next one is fun. This is the fun.
Tears of laughter. So I present to you each team in the PBA as a superhero group.
Yes.
Put a lot of thought into this one. We hope y'all enjoy this thoroughly. So the Peelers.
They are the Suicide Squad. Specifically the 2016 movie that was ass. Listen, we got Jesse. Amanda Waller. He's the one that constructed this team, put the bombs in their necks. Sam, he's not Deadshot. He's just Will Smith.
Just Will Smith.
Like Pursuit of Happiness, all that. He's just Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Shout out to Sam. He's so fine. Quez, he's the fire nigga, Hispanic guy. Don't know his name. I'm pretty sure it's El Diablo. That's
Mike made racist. This slide.
That is his name.
Mike made this one.
It's not El Muerto. It's El Diablo.
It's El Diablo. That's it.
It's El Diablo. Google that. Gian is Harley Quinn. Gian is Harley Quinn, boy. He gonna snap on a nigga real quick. He gonna snap. He's a little unhinged. Drew Killer Croc. He's the big thickness that really holds the team. He's the heart. He the heart. Hello.
Man.
And then if we talking heart, we got to talk about the beat of the heart. Miles, Captain Boomerang. Now listen, he gonna throw some shit. It might miss, but it's gonna come around for a 35 ball. It's gonna come around and hit somebody in the back.
Facts, it's gonna come off.
It's gonna hit a nigga in the back of the head. So I think we really did good with this one.
Oh yeah, this is solid.
Yeah, shout out to them boys.
Shout out to
them
Jesse.
boys.
We got our eye on you, dude. Freaking Peelers over there. All right.
Okay.
Next, we got the Minnesota Moon.
Say the whole thing, Byron.
Turtles, specifically when Splinter is back.
No,
you typoed it again. You did it again. You're trying to get me canceled.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
Speaking
Byron.
of, we didn't talk about this.
Oh yeah, Byron as Black Panther is the funniest thing. If y'all saw his PPW thing for Halloween, Hello Halloween, I made Byron as Black Panther. Very funny stuff. Go download that character.
Oh my goodness! But
I
yes,
think this
we
was
got
a good one.
It was. It made sense.
Because
We
TK
got-
and Delon, they've been
After
together
Master
forever.
Splinter comes
They're like peanut butter and bread. They're like bread and crust, man. They're like melanin and let's not do that. Never mind. But they're bringing in this group of young whippersnappers. They're not young whippersnappers, but a different group of guys that have never played together. Jay Cuz, he's got to be Leonardo. That's the blue one, Byron. I know you was like, you're not too familiar in your turtles. That's the blue one. That's kind of like he's sometimes the lead. He's the cool, calm, collected one. He's the one that really know what he's doing. That's what Cuz was drafted high for. That's what they traded up for. I think Temp being Michelangelo is like obvious. I feel like that's like the most obvious. That's like the easiest thing is Temp being Michelangelo. Now, Scuba, that's Donatello. Because a lot of niggas doubted Scuba. But when that motherfucker get that stick out and he waving that stick, he gonna hit somebody with that stick and knock a nigga out. And that's what he been doing all season. So I was like, Donatello for Scoob, Brandon's Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he might just turn to Liam Neeson and go into the streets and take care of something. I probably shouldn't have said that. But Brandon, a force to be reckoned with, a powerhouse, a mismatch. And that's what Raphael is. That's what real name Brandon is.
Absolutely.
Shout out to them boys.
Absolutely. All right. And then for the third one, we got The Splash, specifically the third movie. We got Bragg and Star-Lord. He didn't ask for him. I don't know if he wanted him, but this is who he ended up with. This is who Bragg been working with. He leading the team.
You gotta say the rest of that little detail there, Byron.
Oh yes, Star-Lord after sleeping with Gamora.
Come on, after he got that fire put on him,
different guy.
Changed that broke nigga life. Hey, it had him hitting Thanos and some more shit. Had him acting unruly. That's the way Bragg is acting. Real unruly.
All right, we got TB, specifically the teenage TB with the square head.
Yes.
We got Jacob as Mantis before sleeping with Drax, because Jacob empathetic, man. He know how people feeling. He want to talk to him. Jacob,
right.
He's dialed in. He know his team. We got Clay as Rocket. I don't need to explain.
Clay
that.
is definitely
Pure
Rocket.
Chaos. It was 100%. We knew that going in. We got Bear as Drax. Perfect.
Do with that what you will.
Yes. And then Tay Gamora.
now listen, because in this is like the third movie, because Gamora, she came back for that one. She came back. So that's like Tay, and he's a lot like Gamora, not necessarily green or a woman, but that was about to be crazy. But he's an assassin. He's deadly. And I'm not saying he slept with Bragg, but when they stay with me. But what I'm saying is when they're together, you better watch out because it's that fire. No?
Hey, I'm with you. I like it.
All right. Okay.
I like it.
Right.
I like it. So who we got next? I think. Oh
The
yes, we got
Dogs.
the Delta Dogs next.
Teen Titans, specifically go.
Take it away. Yeah, you got
Specifically go. Cortez is cyborg. Cortez, he gonna yell out a catchphrase he done took from somebody or something. He gonna just yell something and hit you with that cannon. So he's cyborg. He's the mathematics and all that. LeBron is Raven, the most dangerous thing out there. You don't know what Raven gonna do. Gonna hit you with that. Ooh, words. Ooh, that was about to be crazy.
Whoa.
LeBron gonna hit you. He gonna hit you with that Azarath Matrion Zinthos. Come on. Sam, the big green dog.
Big green dog.
Very versatile. Sam does a lot of little things, but you always know he can turn into whatever you need him to be. So Sam is easy Beast Boy. K-Rich is Starfire. Powerhouse. Soft spoken.
Yes.
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
A shooter. A blaster. I feel like that's easy. And know what? He's the tower. He is the tower. He's the foundation. I can't even say the dogs are the dogs without the tower. You see the tower. Hello.
Exactly.
Hello.
Exactly. Noah's the glue that holds them together,
I agree. And you ain't walking in that tower.
All right.
You ain't going nowhere.
And this next one.
Yeah, the next one might be the best one.
The next one is being tear.
The next one might be the best one. I'm not gonna lie. The Dungeon Family as the Fantastic Four, specifically the ass movie in 2016.
We got
Grant is the invisible
woman.
Grant has a propensity to disappear. But still a key member, the heart of the Dungeon Family. Regardless of what you say, always going to be there in the big moments when you need it, but just has a propensity to disappear. MJ is just Michael B. Jordan. We didn't even say the Human Torch. He's just Michael B. Jordan. Nigga
Just
fine.
Michael B. Jordan. He got the
He's
man.
just fine. Nigga hot. Reggie is a thing.
Not the thing.
He's a thing. Reggie, his season has been a mixed bag. You would like to get a lot more from Reggie, but I feel like due to the drafting, having to switch him out, he really has to capitalize in those moments, and it hasn't always just been that. So he's a thing. Batman is Dr. Doom. I feel like that's the best.
Yeah.
I feel like that's for the best because he around, and he when he around, something's gonna happen. And that's Dr. Doom. That's Batman as Dr. Doom in that picture. Shout out.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, you see the ears? I had to search the net for that one. I typed in Batman X Dr. Doom, got a bunch of upsetting results. I got a bunch of upsetting results. Scotty's Reed Richards. He's gonna stretch out the defense. He's very flexible on defense. He can attempt to guard many people, but he's no Mr. Fantastic. I think we all know who that is. That's the man who we named the name after. Hello, or the award after. Mr. Fantastic J. Trent, nigga. You knew that was coming. You knew that was coming. Come on.
Yeah.
Someone said Court is Galactus.
They say it's a good Silver Surfer.
Put a lot of time into this. Probably more time than watching y'all's trash ass games. Not gonna lie to you. This was our favorite part of making this.
Yes, this was the one that had us in tears. Well, all right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Out of Bounds. We'll bring it back next week for a little bit more regular episode. We're gonna throw the stats back at you. Until then, y'all be easy. We love y'all. Peace.